Baja Pro Series has come to Corpus Christie, Texas, and an ill wind is blowing. That means these water warriors have to be ready for anything when they take to the Bay waters.
I think we're going to have some pretty bumpy waters out here today, especially coming around the front of the Lexington. We're going to catch some good air and have a ball.
I like them big, nasty, rough water races, but at the same time, I like them flat water races too every now and then where you can just hang it out and haul butt.
It's going to be a tough race. The next hour is not going to be fun, that's for sure.
In the shadows of the magnificent USS Lexington aircraft carrier, APBA Offshore Television presents SpeedVision coverage of the APBA's Baja Pro Series. Today, it's the Allen Samuels East-West Powerboat Shootout. Hi, everybody. I'm Ralph Shaheen, along with Bill Adam. Welcome to Corpus Christie Bay, a beautiful site for an offshore powerboat race. But, Bill, on a very windy Sunday afternoon, is going to wreak havoc for these teams.
It really will, and unfortunately the drivers and throttlemen won't be able to enjoy the sights of this beautiful city because they're going to have their hands full with highly changeable conditions. Now, this wind starts out fairly strong in the morning and then just gets worse as the day goes on, and what this does is present constant changes for the crews. They can't set their boat up for flat water, which is fine. They can't set their boat up for rough water, which is also fine. It changes back and forth, and they don't know what to do. It's just a huge gamble, a big problem for them.
Adding to their difficulty is a tricky course layout. Let's take a look at the track map.
And tricky might be the very word. This course is over 6 miles long, but right in here, turn 3-4 area is one of the danger spots because of changing water conditions. Turn 5 is very narrow. You try and put 2 or 3 boats side by side going through here, you've got problems, and then back out at turn 6, you've once again got these changing waters, a number of different waters coming from different angles, all mixing up.
And we're getting set for the first race of the day. Supercat Light inboard will look like this. Roll-offs, Team Yahoo, Montano Motorsports. How sweet it is, that beautiful red number 39. As we get set to go racing.
These are catamaran hulls between 30 and 37.5 feet in length. Twin 502 cubic inch motors, about 500 horsepower Mercuries, or the 500 EFI.
3, 2, 1, green flag, green flag, green flag.
And we're off and racing as the first wave of boats charges down the long straightaway.
This is one of the moments of tension for all of these fellas. They want to try and get some lead because it just gets that much worse. If you get caught in some of the turbulent wakes behind your competitors, it's a real job. Look at these guys bashing around already.
And the battle up front already beginning to build. That's Team Telium up at the top of your screen. Now you go on board with them. The Volvo Penta onboard camera taking the pounding down the backstretch is Gary Heon, the driver, and John Kiley, the throttle man.
Look at the amount of sky you see. This gives you an indication of just how violent these boats are and how much finesse is required. Look, just working that steering wheel really, really hard, back and forth.
That's the first left turn as they make their way towards the Lexington. That's Telium on the left, and on your right, running in second, is Team Yahoo. That's Jamin Jones, the driver, better known as Jamin, and Curtis Morris, the throttle man, giving chase.
Now, Jamin actually has acquired this new nickname of Jamin because we saw him in the last race.
This is the farthest point out into the ocean that the boats go. Now, we go back to the Supercat Light inboard class.
This very interesting. Oh, look at the air he caught right there. Just really stood that nose up in the air.
Team Telium, our leader.
Now, just watch and listen. You hear the length of time he was right off the throttles. He did not want to spin those engines beyond maximum RPM. He had to back way out of it. Just keep that thing from taking off like an F-14.
It just gets deadly silent when they get up in the air like that. Well, some heavy winds off of the bay here in Corpus Christie have caused some very rough seas. As you can see, the leaders in Supercat Light inboard, Team Telium, Bill, are really struggling in this open water.
Yeah, that's about as smooth as we have seen it so far. As I call smooth, he goes for a real long flight. But at least they're getting the benefit of some cushioning. Oh, boy, just listen to that pounding.
This big 36-foot skater taking a beating out here in the open water. Here's a fight for second place. Now this is a 37 boat of Montano Motorsports that has come up to challenge Team Yahoo. Yahoo on the left, Montano on the right, and they will take over the second position.
And in fact, you saw Yahoo actually almost get into the wake there, just getting blind for a fraction of a second. It is so tough, but just trying to cut it close around these buoys as they run through the rough water. Now,
Big one.
just so rough here. Gives you appreciation for what they're going. He's saying you're all right. He's just trying to give him some encouragement. Keep it on going.
This is Zip Express back in fourth place. It's a 36-foot Spectre. And they're still working. And there you go, taking a look at Zip Express from above them on the helicopter as they try to make up ground in fourth. Let's go back to the action in Super Cat Light Inboard, where Team Talium continues to lead as they pound through the surf here in Corpus Christie. Gary Heon and John Kiley.
Yeah, again, I'll bring to your attention, watch the bow of the boat, or the bows, as it comes back down, re-entering the water. You see how it cushions and just, uh-oh, now here's a problem. Zip Express are dead in the water. They have suffered a problem. We hear it might be a broken prop.
Jones and Morris. Boy, this is just so wild. I mean, it doesn't get much more extreme than this. When the water is changing every second, you have no way of guessing what to expect.
No, that's one of the difficulties of this type of racing, is that every single lap you have got something different. It's not like you're going over the same piece of pavement. Every single wave is different.
Time for a look now inside the world of offshore racing. Time to take you to our GM Vortec Offshore Virgin and Factory 2, making their way to the checkered flag. And coming by them, as we widen out, you'll see Team Talium, which will be our winner in Super Cat Light Inboard, just to the left.
This is a perfect example of the two boats. Watch how they fly. Look back and forth here. Look at the Cat. You just see the air getting underneath that hull. You want to keep it flying, but the trick is not too high. So rough.
Working their way through the waves as they come towards the USS Lexington, heading back into the shore area.
And look at the chop. Just take a look at this rough water they've got to try and navigate through. They're watching other boats. They're trying to watch waves coming from all these different directions. Back on board one more time.
Just trying to be as smooth as they can with those throttles. Sometimes you're all the way off the throttle, and sometimes just part way.
Yeah, for sure, because again, it depends on how far you get launched off. What you'd like to do is maybe keep the bottom ear of each propeller in the water at all times. Now, you never get that luxury to do it that perfectly, but you'd like to keep drive on it constantly. As long as you've got drive, you've got acceleration, you've got speed. When you're up in the air, you've got to be off the throttles. You're losing the speed, of course.
Just in front of the crowd that's lined the seawall near the pit area, and there will be the checkered flag in front of them. The winners of our Super Cat Light Inboard, Team Talium, and also Team Virgin also taking the checkered flag as the winners in our cigarette-backed Factory 2 class here today. So they survived the rough waters that take the big victory. Team Talium and Team Virgin, class winners here today. We'll be back to talk to our winners right after this. Stay with us. We're back to Corpus Christie, Texas, where the first race of the day has been completed. Let's take a look at the Super Cat Light Inboard finishing order. Team Talium getting the win over How Sweet It Is. Team Yahoo in third. Let's go down to Bill Adam in the Lucas Oil Victory Circle.
Outstanding. That looked rough as a devil out there, and yet you both had this thing just flying beautifully.
It was extremely rough out there. Texas always brings the rough water to us.
This is our second season racing here in Texas, and we are undefeated in Texas. This is our second win here. We love it. Corpus Christie is always fantastic to us. We want to thank Talium Incorporated in New Jersey. They're our sponsor. They're doing fantastic for us. I want to thank CMI as well, our associate sponsor. And I want to say hello to MRO too, and just everybody here in Texas has been fantastic to us.
Top 5.